If you're over 60 and struggling with sciatica or nerve pain, stop relying on leg stretches. They are a temporary fix at best and rarely provide any lasting relief. In this video, I'll reveal the real cause of sciatica, which most of my patients get wrong, and show you the only 3 exercises you need to relieve that sharp, burning, or nerve-like pain in your back or legs. At the end, I'll also reveal 3 common mistakes that are likely making your pain worse and show you how to avoid them. First, you need to know exactly what is causing that sciatica and where it actually comes from. Otherwise, you'll waste time with treatments that don't improve a thing. Many people think sciatica is just a leg problem because that's where the symptoms are felt, but the real issue often lies in your lower back. Let me show you the science so we can address the root cause and work toward a long-lasting solution. Section 1. The root cause. The garden hose. Analogy. The sciatic nerve, the longest nerve in your body, starts in your lower back, also known as the lumbar spine. It runs down the back of your thighs and all the way into your feet. When this nerve gets compressed or pinched in the lower regions of the spine, typically around the L4, L5, or S1 vertebrae, it disrupts the flow of signals down to the feet. This is why you feel pain, numbness, or burning in your legs. Think of your sciatic nerve as a garden hose. When you have sciatica, it's as if someone is stepping on that hose. To get the water flowing smoothly again, we don't just treat the area downstream where the water is blocked. We need to remove the foot pressing down on the hose. This is why treating your lumbar spine, the source of the pinch, not just the leg symptoms, is the key to lasting relief. Section 2. The 2 main causes of sciatica. The main question now becomes, what causes this pinch in the first place? There are 2 primary causes of sciatica, which tend to affect different age groups. For people between 30 and 50, the primary cause is often disc herniations. The good news is that disc herniations are quite rare, especially if you're over 60. If you are over 60, sciatica is more likely due to age-related changes in your spine, such as spinal stenosis, narrowing of the canals, degenerative discs, or osteoarthritis. These changes are often as natural as wrinkles or gray hair, a normal part of aging that doesn't always cause pain. However, in certain cases, these conditions can gradually worsen, narrowing the space where the sciatic nerve exits the spine. This leads to the characteristic pain, tingling, or numbness in one or both legs. Now that you understand the root cause of sciatica in people over 60, let's jump into the first exercise that will specifically target the lumbar spine to alleviate pressure. Exercise 1. The 90-90 relaxation position. Our first exercise is a go-to position for immediate relief, effective for both disc and degenerative spine conditions. Start by lying down on a comfortable surface with a pillow under your head. Place your feet on a chair, couch edge, or a stool. Adjust until your knees are bent roughly at a 90-degree angle, with your knees positioned above your stomach area, forming a relaxed Z shape with your body. Next, simply relax your spine, allowing your lower back to flatten naturally against the surface, while also letting your feet feel heavy and relaxed. You might feel relief almost immediately, but you can stay in this position for 5, 10, or even 20 minutes, adjusting as needed for comfort. Optional tip. Place a heat pack over your lower back for extra relief. For those over 60, this position has the added benefit of improving lower leg swelling and circulation since your feet are above your heart level. I recommend using this position whenever your sciatica pain flares up, even multiple times a day, as it quickly alleviates pressure on your spinal cord. Exercise 2. The seated lumbar flexion. Now that you have a go-to position for quick relief, let's move on to our second exercise, which will help create more space in your lumbar spine joints and further relieve pressure on that nerve. A quick word of caution. If you experience new numbness in your groin, are unable to urinate, or have other weird changes in your bowel or bladder, go to your nearest emergency department immediately, as this may be a sign of cauda equina syndrome. Now, back to exercise 2. Clinical guidelines suggest that for people with sciatica from degenerative conditions, the key is to perform repeated lumbar flexions, simply put, bending forward movements. Bending forward opens up the spaces in your lower back where nerves pass through. Start by sitting on a chair with your feet slightly wider than shoulder width. Slowly slide your hands down your legs as you bend forward through your lower back and hips. Go as far as you comfortably can and hold for 5 seconds as you take one deep breath. Gently come back up and repeat 10 times. Aim to go a little further with each repetition. Exercise 2 continued, centralization and variations. The key when you bend forward is to allow your back and neck to fully relax. After performing the stretch, your sciatic or leg pain should slowly relieve or move up the leg. This is called centralization, and it's a critical sign that you're finding relief. If your leg pain worsens, stop this exercise, as it might not be suitable for you. If it helps, I suggest doing this 10 times, holding for 5 seconds, a few times during the day. For people with spinal stenosis who experience nerve pain or tingling in their legs with walking, this stretch is crucial. I suggest doing it before, during, or after your walks. If you have extra mobility, you can try variations. Knees to chest, lying on your back, holding knees to chest for 20 seconds, 3 times. Or child's pose, starting on hands and knees, sitting back toward heels, holding for 20 to 30 seconds, 3 times. Exercise 3. The abdominal crunch. Now that we've opened up the space in your lower back with the first 2 exercises, let's move on to strengthening. This next exercise will improve the stability of your lumbar spine, helping to maintain the space we've just created. Lie on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor or on your bed. Place your hands on your thighs. First, engage your abdominal muscles by performing a pelvic tilt. Pull your belly button down toward the ground, imagining the core muscles getting slightly tighter and your low back getting flatter. If you have back pain, even this slight movement can give relief. From here, inhale deeply, and as you exhale, lift your shoulder blades off the ground. Focus on using your abdominal muscles to curl up rather than pulling with your neck. Only go as high as you can, holding for a moment, then slowly lower back down as you inhale. Repeat for 2 sets of 15 repetitions. If you have neck pain, place your hands lightly behind your head, but ensure the movement is coming mostly from your core. For an easier version, perform a partial crunch, lifting just your head and shoulders slightly, an inch or 2. Mistake 1. Forcing perfect posture. Now that you know these great exercises, let's talk about what not to do. Even with the best intentions, you might be unknowingly aggravating your sciatica. All 3 mistakes relate to a key concept. For people over 60 with sciatica, bending the trunk forward, lumbar flexion, often provides relief. Mistake number 1 is trying to maintain perfect posture. Contrary to popular belief, standing up straight with an arched back can actually worsen sciatica in older adults. Why? Because this movement is the opposite of lumbar flexion. It brings those spinal joints closer, narrowing the space and potentially irritating the sciatic nerve. Instead of constantly trying to stand up straight, guidelines recommend relaxing your lower back and posture. don't hunch completely, but avoid forcing an overly upright position for long periods. Another tip: when watching TV, opt for a recliner rather than sitting on a straight-backed chair, as recliners naturally put your spine into a more flexed, relieved position. Sciatica, mistake 2 and 3. Overdoing walking and avoiding aids. Mistake number 2 is overdoing it with walking. While walking isn't inherently bad, extended periods can irritate the sciatic nerve at the lumbar spine because walking is actually an extension-based activity, pushing your spine slightly backward. If you enjoy walking, take regular breaks to sit and stretch, especially using exercise 2, seated lumbar flexion. Alternatively, opt to use a stationary bike or a pedal exerciser on the couch to work on your cardiovascular health without the spinal extension. Now, if walking just 5 to 10 minutes is causing you sciatic pain, this leads us to our third common mistake: avoiding mobility aids. I've seen many patients in their 60s, 70s, and 80s resist using support like canes or walkers. These aids can actually help relieve pressure on your lower back and nerves, particularly if you're dealing with sciatica from degenerative conditions. If you have balance issues, consider using a rollator, four-wheel walker with a seat, so you can take breaks and perform your sitting stretch as needed. Also, use a cart while grocery shopping to support your body and back. So now that you have learned how to relieve the sharp nerve pain in your legs by treating the root cause in your back, you might still have aching and stiffness in your joints. That's a common next step for many of my patients. Head over to this video where I'll show you the only 5 exercises you need to tackle chronic knee pain. These exercises are perfect for people over 50 and are designed to build strength and stability without causing flare-ups. Click the link on your screen now to continue strengthening your foundation. I'll see you there.